Good morning, baseball fans. Welcome to another episode of 162 Times, your daily baseball recap and preview show. I'm your host, Daniel Turner. It's great to be with you here on a Father's Day Sunday morning. Make sure you go call your dad or whatever. We've got a decent show for you today. We have a Mariners game to recap from last night. They played the second game of 3 against the Texas Rangers from Seattle. It was a good game. Texas made it close at the end, but overall it was another super performance by the Mariners. So we'll talk about all that, and then we'll tee up the final game of the series. The Mariners have Logan Gilbert going this afternoon at 4:10 p.m. Eastern to cap off that series. And I believe they will then be off on Monday. We'll double check that for you. And of course, we'll also bring you the scores from around the majors on a fairly busy Saturday night and see how things went vis-a-vis the other teams that we're keeping an eye on, specifically in the American League and elsewhere. So, let's talk about it. Last night, the Mariners won 7-5 over the Texas Rangers in Seattle. So they won the first 2 games of this series, guaranteeing another series win, which is really, really good. The win brings the Mariners to 11 games above 500 and 42-31 on the year. That's first place still in the American League West. The Rangers dropped to 33-37, second in the American League West. Overall, the Rangers had 9 hits, committed 1 error, and only scored 5 runs. The Mariners only had 7 hits for 7 runs, though, and an error themselves. As I said, it was mostly all Mariners until the 9th. The Rangers got 4 runs in the 9th to make it 7-5, and they had the winning run at the plate in the form of Corey Seager in the top of the 9th inning. So Mariners did well to get out of that. In terms of the overall pitching decisions, the losses and wins went to the starters. So it was George Kirby for the Mariners getting the victory, his 6th of the year, 6-5 now with a 3.54 ERA. The loss drops Nathan Eovaldi to 3-3 with a 3.15 ERA, still really good numbers for him. And the save ended up going to Ryan Stanek, his 7th of the year, and his ERA goes to 4 even on the season. He probably was hoping to avoid coming into that game, given that the Mariners had a 6-run lead going into the 9th inning, but he did have to come in to kind of mop up the damage at the end of the day. In terms of pitching lines, the winning pitcher, George, got 6 innings done, 3 hits only, 1 run. It wasn't earned. He walked 2, which is unusual for him, and he struck out 6, which is really good. On the losing side, Eovaldi only got through 3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 Ks, and a homer given up. That's the second night in a row that the Rangers starting pitcher doesn't get to at least 5 innings. And then Texas ended up using a guy named Brock Burke, for 2 1/3 innings. He gave up no hits or runs, walked 1, struck out 4. His ERA on the season is 7.94, so he must have gotten tagged in some prior games, but this will help him out in that regard. Then it was Jonathan Hernandez, did an inning and a third, gave up a hit, a run, which was earned, 1 walk, 1 K, and 3 Ks and a homer. And finally, it was Tinoco, Jesus Tinoco, who came in and pitched the 8th inning. He gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 of them were earned. He walked 2, and he struck out 1. His ERA is 8.1 on the season. So, interesting because, obviously, this Rangers bullpen isn't super strong. 2 guys pitched a full inning and have ERAs close to 8. That's never good. But they did strike out 14 Mariners on the night. 14 overall strikeouts for Texas. On the Seattle side, they only struck out 7 overall. So other than George's 3 strikeouts, Trent Thornton had 1. He did an inning and a third, gave up only 1 hit and struck out 1. Otherwise, it was clean. Then Saucedo, he finished off he did 2/3 of an inning, which were clean, and then they gave the ball to Eduard Bazardo, who just came back up from Tacoma. And unfortunately for him, he had 2/3 of an inning, but gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 of them earned. He walked 1, didn't strike out any, and his ERA is now 8.68. So I don't think Bazardo is necessarily the answer in the bullpen. Ryan Stanek did 1/3 of an inning. He got the final out of the 8th inning, or the 9th inning rather, for the Mariners, giving up 1 hit in the process, but no runs. So that's how she broke down. That gave Stanek the save. In terms of scoring, the Mariners got off to a good start. It was a Cal Raleigh single in the bottom of the first that scored Josh Rojas. Then in the bottom of the third, Julio Rodriguez got into one, homered to left center field, scoring Rojas, 3-0 Seattle at that point. Dom Canzone kept it going with a single the other way. Cal Raleigh hustled home to score on a nice slide. Cal had stolen a bag prior to that, which was pretty impressive. Tyler Locklear also stole a bag. Dominic Canzone also stole a bag, and Dylan Moore stole a bag. So 4 stolen bases for the Mariners on the night. Woo, pretty nice. Top of 5, Texas gets one back on a Marcus Semien double that scored Ezekiel Duran, 4-1 at that point. Bottom of 7, Josh Rojas, a little bit of insurance, a solo shot, his 4th of the year, to right center field. Nice piece of hitting by Josh. 5-1 Seattle at that point. Then bottom 8, Josh Rojas again singled, scoring Dominic Canzone and Dylan Moore. 7-1 Seattle at that point. And then it was top of 9 when the trouble emerged with Bizzardo on the mound. So Wyatt Langford grounded out to third. That was a double play. No, 1 out. Pardon me, 1 out. And Nathaniel Lowe moved to second. Adolis Garcia scored on the play. So 7-2 at that point. Then he walked Josh Smith with the bases loaded, which scored Langford. And then Semien singled, scoring Jankowski and Grossman. So that made it 5-2. And it was 5-2 with first and third, with 2 outs, and Corey Seager at the plate. Corey Seager, obviously very dangerous. And he hit a very sharp ball down the first base side. But Tyler Locklear made a nice diving stab to record the final out of the game. And the 43,448 people in attendance at T-Mobile went wild. It was a really nice play, and I must say Tyler Locklear has looked really good. Certainly defensively, and also some of his power. So Ty France better hurry back, or that guy's going to take his job for good. But that is a good problem to have for the Mariners. So, all in all, pretty safe game until the end. But that's the thing about baseball. You got to have a deep bullpen if you want to do well, because good teams like Texas, good offensive teams like Texas, can turn it on and score a bunch of runs in any given inning. So they managed to hold on. So that was good. Overall, some things that weren't great on the offensive side. Crawford and Luke Raley struck out 3 times apiece. Locklear was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a walk, so that wasn't amazing. But Dom Canzone was 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI. Julio was 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run. Josh Rojas was 2 for 3 with 3 runs, 3 RBIs, and 2 walks. That's just superb for him. And Cal Raleigh was 1 for 3 with a run, an RBI, and a walk. So the middle of the order there, 2 to 4, really did a lot of producing. And nice to see an RBI from Canzone towards the bottom of the lineup. Dylan Moore also scored a run, but was otherwise 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Mariners left 8 on base and were only 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position, but they didn't ground it into any double plays, which is good. The Rangers grounded into 1 double play. They left 6 on base and were 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position. And the Mariners stole 4 bases, but the Rangers stole 3. So it was a really entertaining game. Lots of action on the base paths, lots of running. Errors by Kisner, the catcher for Texas, and Kirby, the pitcher, both on throws, but nothing too damaging there. I guess it was the reason Kirby's run was unearned was because of his error. Evaldi only went 75 pitches in those 3 innings, and Kirby went 90 pitches in his 6 innings. So a super start from George. You'll love to see it. Let's keep the action going and sweep the Rangers tonight, boys. Let's do it. It'll be Logan Gilbert, the righty, on the hill for the Mariners. He's 3-4 this season with a 3.19 ERA and 84 strikeouts. He'll be going up against Dane Dunning, right-hander, 4-5 on the year, 4.8 ERA and 59 Ks only. Mariners have seen Dunning a fair bit. Crawford, 21 at-bats, batting .333. Raleigh, 18 at-bats, batting .333. Julio, 19 at-bats, batting .211, for example. And the Rangers have seen Gilbert plenty as well. 28 at-bats for Adolis Garcia. He's only batting .214. Nathaniel Lowe has 30 at-bats and is batting .333 against him. Seager, 18 at-bats, .333. Marcus Semien is the guy who can't figure out Logan Gilbert. He's got 26 at-bats, but is only batting .077 and a .154 OPS. For a guy like Semien, that means that Gilbert sort of has his number. Anyway, lineups are not out yet, but I imagine we'll see Crawford, Rojas, and Rodriguez in 1, 2, 3 for the Mariners, and we'll probably see Semien, Seager, Garcia, and Lowe 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Rangers. But we'll see how that goes later. So not much more to bring you on that front in terms of the preview, but it would be really nice to get a series sweep here for the Mariners. Now, in terms of how the scoring went on Saturday, let's focus in, of course, on the games that impact the divisional standings. So the Detroit Tigers beat up on the Houston Astros, a 13-5 win. It was Flaherty, the guy they got in the offseason. What is his first name? I can never remember. Jack Flaherty. So Jack Flaherty pitched a good game. 19 hits for the Tigers in that one. Pretty impressive stuff. The Angels won 4-3 over the Giants, and the Twins and the Athletics were rained out. They'll make that game up tonight, so no action there. Otherwise, in terms of Major League, American League teams that might have an impact on potential wild card futures, the Royals beat the Dodgers 7-2. That was Seth Lugo with his 10th win of the year there and his 2.4 ERA. So, like I said, the Mariners avoided seeing Lugo in both series. Really, really good that they did that. Yankees lost 8-4 in Boston to the Red Sox. The Rays lost 9-2 down in Atlanta. The Orioles beat the Phillies 6-2. Orioles are really good. They're creeping up close to the Phillies record, 46-24 now. Phils are 47-23. The Guardians lost 5-0 to the Blue Jays. It was Bowden Francis getting the win in that one. Interesting. And the Cubs over the Cardinals 5-1. The Nationals over the Marlins 4-0. The Mets over the Padres 5-1. The Brewers over the Reds 3-1. The White Sox over the Diamondbacks 9-2. And the Rockies over the Pirates 16-4. So interesting game all round the majors. Look forward to bringing the Sunday on a Monday recap tomorrow, where we look at the divisional standings and where everything really sits. But for now, that'll do it, and we will sign off and go enjoy your Sunday. Hope it goes well for you. Maybe you're watching the U.S. Open. Maybe you're going for a bike ride. I don't know. Take care, folks.